A genius way to cheat. They put the top graders in the center of the room. The losers are scattered in every corner. When the time comes to 2 p.m., everyone's eyes will be glued to the clock, and the top scorer will use the clock to pass on the answers. The minute hand represents the number of the question in the paper. Every minute students will look up to receive a signal from Anne. There are 60 questions in the paper which corresponds to 60 minutes, and the second hand represents the answer choices. When the second hand starts to turn, everyone's eyes will focus on Anne's right hand. When she raises her right hand, the number that corresponds to the second hand is the correct answer to that question. For those who are not good at school, all they have to do is write down the answer. With the rapid passage of time, and didn't know how many times she had changed her movements, but fortunately the program is going well. They had already finished half of the paper, but then the boy beside her suddenly spoke up. He asked her what she was doing, and was obviously startled by the suddenness of the question. She was so distracted that she almost forgot the time of the exam, but she had already collected the money from her classmates, and had no choice but to calm down and raise her right hand again. The boy said, "If you do that again, I'll call the teacher." Everyone was shocked by his yelling. No matter what and did, the boys kept staring at her, and had no choice but to hand in her paper early to protect herself. But at that moment the invigilator seemed to have noticed something. Anne's heart began to panic. Luckily the teacher went to another person instead of the paying students. The teacher asked him to open his pocket. Sure enough, a piece of paper fell out. When he opened it, he realized it was the answer. The teacher was so angry that he cancelled his grade right then and there, and the whole class would have to take the test again, and was very helpless after hearing this. It seemed that the next exam had to be rearranged. Back home, and looked at her father, who was still working hard even though he was very sick. She looked at the $200,000 in tuition fees that she hadn't paid yet. She had an even bolder idea in her mind. She asked the scum to prepare more payoffs, because for the next exam she was going to use the school's radio to cheat.